Good morning, everybody. This is Randy with Carchaeology, and today I want to share with you a family member here at the Carlson Ranch, and that is Alfred, our 1971 Land Rover Series 2A. Alfred was the result of a morning coffee dream staring at the internet. My wife and I were trying to make some plans to do some travel with the family, and I saw this beautiful 109 for sale on eBay in the UK for sale. And I just kind of jokingly suggested, hey, how about if we buy this old Land Rover and we use that on our trip through Europe? And much to my surprise, she said, yeah, let's do that. So I wasn't about ready to let that opportunity slip by. And so I started investigating a little further. Now, granted, the car was in England, so it's a long, long way away. And I don't know a whole lot about Land Rovers, so I put a call out on the internet, a post up on Instagram, hoping that I would find somebody that was in the area that could maybe go check it out for me and make sure that it was all right. And about 15 minutes later, I got a private message from somebody, and he said, oh, my dad could help. And so a little bit later, the phone rang, and this guy's dad called, and a gentleman and his name is Lawrence. And Lawrence had bought a Volkswagen bus from me at some point. And so we already kind of had a relationship, but he's also a Land Rover guy. And he asked me what town it was in, and I told him, and he said, it was at a dealer, Land Rover dealer there. And he said, really? How about that? Is it blue? Now, I'd not sent him any photos of it or anything like that. And I responded, yes, it was blue. And he said, well, hang on for a minute. And I hear him walking, a crunch of gravel underneath his feet. It's right across the street from me. And he actually knew the owners of the dealership that had it for sale. And so I basically left it to him to work out a deal. So he did work out a really wonderful deal on it, and he also took it on to make sure that it was prepped for our trip. So this guy was a total guardian angel for us, and he installed all sorts of great accessories on it, just the way that I dreamed it. The roof rack, the ladder, the guards over the taillights and things like that. And then he went through it mechanically, make sure that it was solid and ready to go. He hooked up power ports in the back so the kids could charge their devices. He hooked us up with a bunch of spares and tools, and really, really made the trip phenomenal. And so we piled the whole family in this, my wife and I and our 3 kids. And we picked it up in London on the hottest day in record in London, and then set off across the channel over to France. And we went all through Europe, a variety of different destinations, hit a couple of big events over there, had an absolute blast, put about 1,600 miles on Alfred, all through Europe. Got all sorts of little stickers and souvenirs and stuff from our trip. Anyway, anytime we'd go into a new country, we'd grab one of the badge stickers for it. And then when it got here to California, we've added some other little stickers. UCSC, where my son had gone, Black Star Campout, big VW show that we camped at, Sticker Shock from my TV adventure, and of course, the Carchaeology sticker. But it was a fantastic adventure. One life, live it. That's what these things are all about. And we certainly had a phenomenal time traveling. Now, I will say that it is not the most comfortable vehicle to travel in. There's very little padding inside. Trying to get a comfortable spot to take a nap on the road is difficult, if not impossible. But the kids put up with it well. My wife put up with it quite well. I enjoyed the whole adventure, and we have amazing photos from the whole trip to share and savor and hold for the rest of our lives. We stuck little badges and stickers and feathers and whatever we've found. It's really become our ultimate souvenir of an amazing European vacation with the family. Now, since being here, we've not driven it a whole lot. The first couple months of having it here, I was in it every day, fell in love with it. But then as time has gone on, it's getting driven less and less. I did add some off-road lights and a Smitty-built pop-up tent. And we've done a little bit of camping with it and a little bit of off-roading here and there. But it's come down to the point where really it's sitting more than it's being used. And as much as we love it and as much as it is a member of the family, I think it's time to find a new home for it. It's a great thing. Now, these are old and slow and crude and loud and extraordinarily simple, but that's really a part of their appeal. And the car looks awesome no matter where you park it, whether it's out here in the yard parked in the bush, or you bring it downtown and park it in the city. These things are very versatile. You can pile 10 people in this thing with the bench seats in the back. It's fun. Now, I will always remember my Land Rover experience and our whole family trip. In fact, it was documented in Classic Land Rover magazine. They did a whole road trip story on our adventure, and I'll post up a couple pics of that as well. Really, really fun. So if you've never experienced a vintage Land Rover, I suggest you do. This one might be a great one for you, or there's plenty of other ones out there. This one, fortunately, being a 1971 model, was an easy one to import. No problems with California smog or anything like that. We made sure to keep the original UK license plates with it, just as souvenirs. And man, it's been a blast. I forgot one really important thing. Alfred. That's the name that we gave the Land Rover for several different reasons, but it popped up. All the kids seemed to like it, and we went with that. So Alfred was Batman's faithful servant. There's some Alfreds in our family. My father-in-law was an Alfred, and it just kind of sounded British to us. Right-hand drive, of course, a whole plethora of knobs and levers and stuff to pluck. Some extra gauges added to this one. And a tag here: do not fold windscreen at speeds exceeding 120 miles an hour, because if you are exceeding that speed, you are certainly in flight, falling off a cliff somewhere, and y'all gonna die. These things are not fast. I think we probably topped out at, I don't know, 60 miles an hour if we're really pushing it, maybe 65. And that's about all she wrote. But this is Alfred. We love him, and we'll always remember him. And that view across that spare tire throughout the country and throughout the world is something that you will always remember.